Hello, uh, Happy New Year for some people. And first time it's almost New Year. Or maybe you might have been listening after New Year, whatever time is divine for you. So, welcome back for people who came back to my journaling again, or new greeting to new people. Um, even Mercury has been out of its retrograde. I'm still a little bit fussy when I'm doing this. Actually, before going anywhere, I don't know what topic I'm gonna be saying, so I might just let it flow. So to share first, I'm really surprised, I would say, on the last video that I uploaded. I never expected people to see or have any interaction. That's not my expectation, because the objective of me posting is to connect with myself in a way that I feel genuine, and I'm sharing that to everyone that is meant to be hearing. That I'm seeing that, and it's really coming back to affirm me that whatever messages that I feel like expressing, or any creativity that I feel like sharing, is meant to be delivered, and it shall be received by someone who is meant to be receiving it. Even if just one people in whatever corner of this planet is hearing these messages, it's worth my expression, as we are connected anyway. So I invite you to take a deep breath with me. Just one breath, and just set an intention that for whatever messages is coming for myself and for you to receive shall be only for your highest good only. And for also whatever messages come to me is for my highest good only. Okay. So I might feel a little skipping to this and that, and today at where I'm living, it's on the 30th of December, and it's also, I would say, a new year. It's during the period of New Year Eve. I feel called to say that because it's the precipice of becoming someone you have been waiting for it to be. Yeah, I feel like this is the message about becoming someone you are meant to be. So this New Year Eve is kind of a period that, continuing from last clip, is still a resting period, and the black moon today is also, we have 2 new moons today in December, and it's really calling for me to just rest. And today, I just feel like I can breathe my full whole lung today. I'm about to cry right now, just in bliss of myself be sharing this. And I wouldn't say I have been, I used to. The part of me, I would say, a version of me, yeah, is a better word for it. A version of me is really afraid and really scared of expression, of being like putting my words out in the world, saying things that I genuinely feel inside to people because I mean, okay, it's a habit, but because she felt that she would be judged, she could be perceived in a way that's not loving, not caring, too straightforward, too cold, whatever it's gonna be. She was afraid. And throughout these 2 years, it's been a journey of cracking me open, cracking me fully open. And there's a little moment that I really cherish myself taking that step. I want to share this experience with you all. And I might be crying some. Actually, I'm crying right now. I might be crying through this, so just know that my voice could be stuffy a little bit because I guess this is the this is the message that has been calling for me to share because I need to hear it from myself as well. So, around 2 or 3 years ago, I started my journey on YouTube. I was big. I mean, it was. It started. I'm sorry. Please excuse my skipping from this to that word. It's hard to find the right word to say at this moment for me. So, I began with game casting, and it's been fun. I love playing game and I love talking. But one of the reasons that I stopped doing that at that moment, I just had a reflection about it. Is it because I no longer feel that I'm being authentic in the process. I was trying to find like what game people would like to see, what type of reaction that would gain attraction from people, what title, and everything is coming from other people. Like this content is made for pleasing people, and it's really less of me. And for a period of time, I don't feel I didn't feel inclined to do it anymore, so I stopped. Just like that. Like people ask me like, why you stop doing that, and I said like, it's not fun anymore. And because that that passion that I thought it was passion is just burned out because it wasn't me. Like genuinely, it wasn't me. But just like a couple weeks ago, I revisited some of the like top performing video that I made. And I thought at that time, back then, like 2 years ago, I thought it was like it's a little bit embarrassing. Like what I made, I felt embarrassed. And also I felt that it's not good enough. Like it's not good enough. It's that this mentality drained me, really. And but this time when I watch it just a couple weeks ago, I felt so proud of myself for putting it out through insecurity. And you know what I know? What the aha moment just landed me is like those moments of me putting things out, of me like game casting, or sometimes I do pick a card, so it's just a stepping stone that the universe just like dropping like small pebbles along the way for me to grasp, break some of my self-esteem, break my ego, so I could be rebuilt into something that is more profound, stable, and grounded. So my creation come from a source of love, not from fear. It struck me to the heart. It struck me to the core. that it was for the purpose of learning to express myself. I used to be a very shy person. I'm so I call myself shy, though some people would say anything. I would say like I'm shy. I'm not so good at presentation. I'm not good at public speaking. I'm not good with stranger. I'm shy. And the insight just landed today, and that's the reason why I feel like I need to share this message to whoever is listening right now. I was feared of being judged. I was feared of being perceived in whatever way this society was meaning to receive me. I'm afraid of how people will perceive and receive me. I'm so afraid of that, like hell. And I was so afraid also, I would say, a little girl within me at that moment, she was afraid of putting out anything at all that risk of being publicly ashamed. This is the word. She was afraid of being publicly ashamed. And I realized just now that it's actually a generational trauma within my female line. Public embarrassment is very critical for the feeling of existence in my body at some specific period of time. But thanks to a loving soul at that time who pushed me, thanks to my husband, he really supported me and pushed me to go with it, that YouTube things, even though I felt inclined to stop it so many times because I wasn't getting as much of the validation my ego needed at that period of time, and it felt so embarrassed given the amount that I put my effort to in my perspective. I felt like whatever I did would never be good enough. But yes, today at this moment I felt proud. And I realized one thing also, what I shared earlier in this channeling, that I made this not because I want to get anything at all. I made this audio because I felt like expressing this to anyone who is meant to be receiving. You don't have to give me anything. This expression gave me freedom already without anything in return. You know, the word freedom, I thought that people, a version of me thought that if people outside of me giving me validation of what I did, of my creation, I would be free. But at this moment of time that I'm smiling saying this to you, I would like to say that I am free regardless of how people perceive me, regardless of what any engagement is happening, regardless of how many people see it. I feel liberated just expressing this out loud. And so yeah, So for whoever, I feel like we might be sharing some similar outlook in life, or you might be needed to hearing this from me. I want to say this to you as well as saying back to me that every expression that you have in your heart, if it comes from a place of love and it feels light in your heart, every words are meant to be expressed. Every creation are meant to be told. Every words are meant to be heard. Period. No matter how people perceive it. And it can turn two ways. One way would be the one that is easy for people to integrate, for people to comprehend when you have good things to say about people. Actually, you always have good things. I always have good intention in my heart when I'm saying things. If I felt like I don't have that good intention, I would keep that to myself and I would do an inner work with myself. So that different things. If I have an expression that comes from the source of fear, I would look into myself first and then reevaluate if that should be communicated. That's a different thing. But if that expression creation comes out of love in your heart for someone, and you know it because it will feel light in your heart, you can have a really like heartwarming blessing or just like compliment you want to say to someone. It's not it doesn't have to be for your friend. It can be for your strangers, for some like your colleague, your classmate that you haven't talked for a while, but you want to say something to them because you feel like you want to express something. I actually just like express a lot of my compliment and blessing to people that is not close to me at all. And I used to feel like these words are gonna be perceived like weird, strange for some people because like how I haven't talked to you for a while. Like, why should I be saying that to you? I used to think like that. But recently, I have a very beautiful, like heartwarming words that I want to express to someone. A classmate that I see in social media. And at first, I thought like I would withhold that. But then I think again. Maybe she needs to hear it. She needs to hear it. In another, like, what if? I love challenging myself, and I would encourage you all to challenge yourself too when you fear of doing something. So I said to myself, what if she needs to hear it? And my heart say, just express it. And I did. I asked my heart to say yes. And I just type it. I don't care if it goes out weird or if she even replied or not. And actually there's a love sending back from her. And I felt like whatever word I'm meant to be expressing, it's meant to be received. Whatever way. So this is the first one. The second one is also something that you feel genuine in my heart. I felt like I have to share some hard truth to someone. But, disclaimer, you have to be really discerned about where that feeling, where that word sentence came from. If it comes from the heart with pure love, you can feel it when you put your hand on your heart. You can ask yourself like, if you have something in your mind, I often ask myself, Is this come from love or fear? And if it's come from love, I would express it anyway. And sometimes it trigger people. It trigger the hell out of someone. Sometimes it's close to me. Sometimes it's not close to me. Sometimes it's someone, a stranger or something, that I said it anyway. And I learned also. I learned that sometimes expression, even from the genuine of a heart, it should not be stepping into someone else's journey or blocking some people from facing their journey or experience that life that they are predestined to be. You can have love and care for someone. So this is, I know why I'm saying this right now. So, expressing again. So the first one that I share is I learned that expression that is genuine and is from the heart based loving heart is meant to be expressed and is meant to be heard. No matter how the other person perceives, if it's from your heart, if it's from my heart, it's meant to be heard regardless. And even though I'm saying this with love, some of you on the other side of the screen can feel triggered, doubt, question yourself in a way. But I'm saying it anyway. Because you feeling triggered is not my responsibility. If the genuine expression trigger any of your heart, your pain, your trauma, that's a calling for you to look into it, whether you're ready to looking into it or not. And from this perspective, I embrace a lot more from comments, feedback, but I did with discernment. So distinguish is the art I learned throughout the year. I used to not like feedback at all because I only like positive feedback. It's a mirror. That's why I like to say just only good things, like make people feel good, people pleasing stuff, right? Yeah, I like to receive good feedback, but after I crack my heart open, I have capacity to feel love more beneath words, beneath thought, beneath fear. And I came to know that I can also feel if that person is telling me things from their higher self, from their loving heart, or from their ego. And I discern that, and I choose to listen just only the loving one. Because if they express their ego to me, it's their part, not mine. I just don't receive that. And it's been a really, 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 really long journey. But I just want to say I'm so proud again. And for whoever is listening right now, be proud of every step that you make, even if it is small, even if it's a pebble. You never know what's gonna be a reward on the other side of everything. But the small pebble that you take every day, is going to be building a mountain for you someday. You don't have to know what shape, what color, where, destination, who's going to be your companion, who's going to be by your side, how you going to look, who you going to be at that point. You don't need to know anything at all. But I just like to share that every pebble means something. Every pebble means everything. Even the micro teeny tiny pebble means something. And I do appreciate it. Some pebble come as failure, some pebble comes as success, some pebble comes to trigger you. Every pebble matters. Yeah, every pebble matters. Yeah. Okay. So I felt drawn to talk about pebble because some of you might be wondering about that. So anyway, getting back to expression. So expression, the part that we talk about is express it anyway, right? And I want to share that I learned that the expression that come from my heart is the door for me to discover myself. And whatever messages that you felt called to express are sacred. I just maybe I'm not meant to share that, so the message it gets taken away. Okay, now it came back. So one thing that I felt also that I learned, I wouldn't say a hard way, but I learned it, and I want to share. I feel and I sense things, and normally with love and care, then out of the need to control and the need to protect because I'm fearing that things could happen to someone that I love, I choose to tell them to not or to do things. I choose to give them advice that I know they would follow and they would not be hurt. That was the old me, wanting to control things. It was higher self get entangled with egos came up that way. But I don't regret it. It's my journey to learn. So when it came, I'm sorry, I kept saying past and present tense. Something about it, but don't mind me. I might be switching to this and that from time to time. So in expressing yourself to others, there's something that you also want to be reminded yourself of. I remind myself every time that I want to say something that I see and I sense and I feel even. The question that I ask myself is what I'm going to say will be depriving them from experiencing the journey by themselves that they are meant to be experiencing in this lifetime. I asked myself this, and I choose not to say so many things from this question alone. I used to say a lot to a friend that I really care of. I told her everything out of protection. That's also a fear. I have mother wound around that, which I just discovered. And I'm proud to say that I choose courage over fear this time to walk past that wound. I'm congratulating myself now. I'm choosing the hard way. Yeah. So even though I see things, I choose to listen when she say, and I choose not to give advice. I say, try it, do it, experience it, follow your heart. You never know when you say, don't do it to someone, choose this to someone. You never know. You never know what you are blocking them from doing, from receiving, from experiencing, which could be enlightening them to see life in different things, even though it's going to cause them to hurt, even though it's going to cause them pain, even though it's going to get them to hit rock bottom of their life. You would want to see them in that way. I am in tears seeing her in that way, but I let her. And in letting her, I freed myself, and I also freed her from this entanglement of attachment, of controlling whatever I have. I cut that cord, and it's been a year of challenge, but it gets easier every time. So yeah, that's meant to come out, and I guess that's all I'm being called to share today. So every expression is meant to be heard through, but give it with discernment. If it's out of your fear to control, you have to be really, really aware of your own feeling, thought, and emotion when expressing something. Even you think it's come out of love, ask your heart if it's come out of fear of controlling. It's come from fear of being abandoned. Is it come out of fear of being unloved? There's so many fear that could trigger themselves into love. Wow. That's the word. That's the sentence that is going to be in the title. There's so many fear that trick themselves into love. Be mindful of that before expressing anything, and otherwise every expression is meant to be heard. And it's the end of the message, and I'm grateful to be here, and whoever is on the other side of the screen, happy Black Moon. And I'm gonna be talking to you soon, later. I don't know. Let's see. For now, goodbye.